What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Thursday. We are here for the Week 18 final game of the regular season, top 13 matchups. Eagles, Giants, we just saw them a couple of weeks ago, talked about a lot of this stuff, but we're going to break it down. And of course, before we do that, we'll look at today's updated injury report. We will look at the stats and standings for both teams and, of course, the depth chart. So you know exactly what's going on for both teams. You can decide for yourself what the top matchups are, whether you agree, disagree. Love to hear your thoughts down below. Appreciate you hitting the like button, subscribing, all the things you're doing to support the channel. Let's jump right into this bad boy and start it off with the injury report today and some important news for both teams and some changes here for both of them. And the Eagles, Jordan Davis did not practice yesterday, was limited today, so a great sign there. And then Haason Reddick, he didn't practice yesterday, full participant today. So great news for both of those defensive linemen. Then Devontae Smith did not practice. Now, we talked about this, a minor ankle injury, but don't think he's going to play in this game, especially in MetLife Stadium. So I'm okay with it. Let's have him ready for the playoffs. Now, Zach Cunningham and Devontae Maddox both went from limited to full participants, so fantastic news there. And then Darius Slay limited again. We'll see if he is ready for this Sunday. I don't know if you want to risk it again on this turf, anybody with leg injuries, but we do want some continuity here before the playoffs start. We'll see what goes down. Now let's take a look at the Giants. And John Michael Schmitz went from did not practice to limited. And then Dane Belton was added to the injury report today, but because of a personal reason. So should be okay. Hopefully everything's all right in his personal life, but did not practice. And everything else the same there. Tyrod Taylor, Holmes, Coughlin, and Banks all limited. And then Jason Pinnock did not practice. And Belton would be the one to, take the place of Pinnock if he cannot play. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that, and we'll see. And, the practice squad did make a move. The Giants, they added Jacob Eason. They lost Matt Barkley. So if Tyrod Taylor's not ready to go, maybe it's Tommy DeVito again and Eason as the backup. We shall see. But let's take a look now at how both of these teams have been doing so far this season. And the Eagles obviously had it all right there to win the NFC East. Now they've got to rely on the Commanders to win, and they've got to beat the Giants. And either way, we'll see how things go. But, that pisses me off. But you see Giants and Commanders battling for that final spot. So we'll see how that works out there. And in the NFC, the Eagles are now 5th. And if they don't win the NFC East, that is where they will be playing the Buccaneers, unless, the Saints or Falcons would take that division. I don't think the Falcons can take the division, but look, the Saints can take it from the Bucs. We'll see what goes down there, but we will play somebody from the NFC South if at 5. And then, if you take 2, then you're, obviously taking on a team like the Packers. We'll see who that last seed is. The top 7 make it into the playoffs. So we'll see how that shakes out, but that's where both of these teams stand. And obviously the Giants looking at the bottom there. Now the Eagles, look, this offense, it's just unacceptable, the things they have not been able to do, and they're still 7th in points, 8th in total yardage, 16th in passing, 9th in rushing, only allowing 2.1 sacks per game. That's top 10. So turnovers, man, tied for 21st. Penalties, all the stupid things they're doing. This offense, we know they've got the weapons. We've got one of the best offensive lines, if not the best offensive line, to run the damn ball all over them, to have your way with them. There's no reason that this offense shouldn't be able to go out here, put up as many points as they want, and then rest the starters in the second half. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, these are the guys that really need to step it up. They have just been really putting the offense in precarious positions. And, obviously the time of possession in that last game was atrocious. So terrible to watch. But 29th in points, 23rd in yardage. You see this defense just not doing great. Middle of the pack in sacks, tied for 24th in turnovers. So we need to really step things up on the defensive side of the ball, getting Cunningham, Slay back, Maddox fully healthy. That will be definite positive. But, all facets of the game need to be on the same page here. So against a team like the Giants, you would think you could do that. Now, you look at 30th in points and total yardage, last in the league in passing, middle of the pack in rushing, giving up the most sacks per game. We talked about this last time. They were giving up 5.4 sacks at that time. We talked about, I want to see more than 5. I want to see 7. We got one. and it was from our damn linebacker. So unacceptable. Get after the quarterback. I don't care if it's DeVito, Tyrod Taylor, Jacob Eason, kick his ass. So my Lord, this defense needs to step it up. And this is a, offense that doesn't turn the ball over much, as you see, tied for 10th, but you should be able to shut them down. My Lord, we only beat them by 8 points last time. Unacceptable. Defensive side, man, again, this offense should be able to have their way with them. 28th in points and yardage there. 20th against the pass, 29th against the run. Run the damn ball. Protect Jalen Hurts. And look, the one thing Wink Martindale always send in pressure, it does cause turnovers. So tied for third in the league, getting those turnovers. So gotta play clean football here. And again, I'd love to beat the hell out of them and rest our starters in the second half. I still think these starters need to play, get things going, get a little hot in that first half, then bench them, win the game anyway, keep everybody healthy going to the playoffs with a little bit of that swagger back. That's what I would like to see. Now, let's take a look at what both of these teams look like, and you can tell me who your top matchups are, whatever is on your mind, but we'll start it off with the Eagles. This is their reserve list. On the left, you'll see the offense. On the right, you'll see the defense. You can see a couple guys on IR for the offense, a few on defense, and then Devin Allen practice squad IR, Rodgers suspended. So no surprises there. Anyone in green new to the team this season, and you're not going to see these guys on the depth chart. So there are the reserves. Here is the depth chart. And look, everybody healthy on the line. And obviously, Devontae probably not going to play. So Julio going to need to step up. Britton Covey maybe get some work in offense. Watkins just continue to not. But you see everybody else good to go there. The defense, obviously, Slay could miss another game. We'll see what's going on with Cunningham. Make sure Davis and Reddick, everybody's good to go. I'll keep you up to date. Tomorrow is the game status report, so you'll know who's out, questionable, all that stuff. And then the practice squad, the special teams, everyone good to go there. And then I shall show you that practice squad, 8 on offense, 8 on defense. They can elevate 2 on Saturday, so I will keep you up to date with all of that news. But now let's take a look at the New York Giants. And here are their reserves. And they've got offense, defense, and special teams. So on the offensive side of the ball, you can see a plethora of guys on offense. And then on defense, they've got 1 player on IR, 1 player on the PUP list. And then special teams, you got 2 kickers on IR, and then 1 kicker on practice squad IR. So we talked about this last time we played them. They had just signed Mason Crosby. We're going through a lot of stuff. So unfortunate, but I'm trying to figure it out in this kind of lost season. Now, anyone in red new to the team this year? So let's take a look at their depth chart. You can see here on the offensive side of the ball, we talked about it, John Michael Schmitz was limited today, so not DNP anymore. So that's great news for them. Other than that, we'll keep up to date with Tyrod Taylor and all the rest of that news. On defense, Raheem Nunez-Roches missed the last time we played, so they'll be hopeful to have he and Dexter Lawrence, A'Shawn Robinson. And beyond that, Deonte Banks, we'll see if he's ready to go, and Jason Pinnock there in the secondary. Special teams, everyone good to go there. And I'm assuming they're going to elevate Mason Crosby. That's why you see him in parentheses there. But yes, their special teams guy on the practice squad. And you can see here is their list of practice squad. 9 guys on offense, 6 on defense, and then 1 special teamer there in Mason Crosby. So he's got 1 more elevation. Last game of the season, I'm sure they're going to use it. But talked about Jacob Eason being signed today. So he is on the practice squad now with Matt Barkley on the Jaguars. So we shall see if they decide to elevate anyone. I will keep you up to date with all that news. But now you see what both of these teams look like. Let's go through this top 13 matchups. And we just got done talking about this a couple weeks ago. So I'm just going to try to harp on some of these things that the Eagles really should be doing. So let's get through it. Now, number 13, Britton Covey, Gunnar Olszewski. We talked about this last time, dude. And last week, Gunnar got himself a touchdown. Britton, he is number 1 in the league in punt return yards, number 2 in punt return average, did not make the Pro Bowl. And look, I get it. Rashid Shaheed's pretty good. And he is a kick returner and punt returner. So whatever. But look, Covey's been holding it down. Can one of these guys be the spark for their team? And I'm hoping Britton Covey, a nice punt return touchdown for the last game of the season. That would be fantastic. But the Eagles got to watch out there for Gunnar. Now, at number 12, let's get this effing defense going. And it starts in the effing trenches. You got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, Milton Williams. And I've heard the slander about Jordan Davis. He's a bust. He doesn't get sacks. Well, I wish people knew what a nose tackle was. And I wish the Eagles would stop using him as a one-gap pass rushing D tackle and use him as that two-gap nose tackle run-stopping monster. And the guy is ranked 8th in run win rate here. And I think that, this is very important because that's what he is here for. People talking about he's a bust, this, that, the other thing. But, I mean, he's doing what he needs to. So his run-stop win rate is 8th in the league. But he is number 1 amongst D tackles in double team percentage at 52% of the time. More than half the time, Jordan Davis is getting double teamed. So enough with the slander. Fletcher Cox, Milton Williams, quite a rotation there. You saw Jomo getting a little bit there last time. So it's time to wreak some havoc. And again, I don't care if it's Tyrod Taylor, whoever it may be. And talked about it. No sacks from the line. And Saquon Barkley had a decent game last time, but I think he had some yards, but he was only like 3.5 yards per carry, something like that. So look, shut him down. I don't give a damn about stats, what the numbers say. It's going to be a divisional battle to the death. I need to see the big boys up front laying it down. And then making things easier for those guys outside, Reddick, Sweat, BG, and Nolan. Let's effing go here, man. No sacks against the team giving up the most sacks last time. Just completely unacceptable. And, Evan Neal is on IR now. Tyre Phillips is on IR now. So Matt Pert, who just came off of IR, will be their right tackle. I'm just assuming here. But, dude, there is no reason you shouldn't be able to beat up on Andrew Thomas and Matt Pert. Let's effing go defense, please, for the love of God. Let's get at least 5 sacks here this game. I mean, hell, get 2 because you couldn't even get 1 as a line. Just unreal. And, we talk about it. Tyrod Taylor going to be different than Tommy DeVito. We saw it in the second half of that game. He was 7 for 1,633 yards. He did throw that pick, but he had a touchdown. And we saw what Kyler Murray just did to this Eagles defense, and an elusive guy that, can dink and dunk if you need him to. So, I mean, come on, please, for the love of God, do not let this dude. He had like 2 rushes for 20-some yards. So you got to watch out for him. He will use his legs. And look, they don't have the greatest weapons here. There's no reason this defense, I understand, and we've talked about it each week. I don't even know what I'm watching half the time. I feel like each, sect of this defense, either the line, the linebackers, the secondaries, they're all on like a different page here. Just everybody thinks something different. They don't look like they have any kind of communication. I hate it, man. But I've seen throughout this year, this team stepping up and doing great things together. Is that because Zach Cunningham, is Darius Slay missing huge? Avonte Maddox coming back, I know will help, but we've seen this defense do things without him. And I don't understand it, man. We've been able to shut down the Chiefs, the Bills in the second half, the Dolphins. Like, what are we doing here? So let's figure it out, man. Get people healthy, get things in order, and do not let Tyrod Taylor go out here looking like Joe Montana. Please, for the love of God. And, he's thrown it to guys like Hyatt, Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, dude, come on. They really didn't do much of anything. Slayton had 3 catches for 90 yards, but beyond that, no, and he had that touchdown, but which is hilarious because of all the people, man, Jalen Hyatt, Wan'Dale Robinson, Darius Slayton, like usual, getting the Eagles there. But hey, Maddox, we talked about, let's take it easy with him. He got a little banged up the last game with his elbow. Let's be precautious there. Maybe this game we keep Roby active. That would be great. But last time we used Maddox, Ringo, Bradbury, Ricks, and I had mentioned before the game, maybe we use all 5 because I didn't want to see Maddox getting hurt. Well, we didn't use all 5 and Maddox did get hurt. So maybe rethink that. Instead of activating Rashad Penny just to not use him, maybe activate a guy you could use like Bradley Roby. So just an idea, but these guys should be able to shut down these wide receivers. No excuses here. And look, Slay, I don't know that he plays here. So, but either way, Ringo's been stepping in. He's had his issues. So has Ricks. These guys are rookies. I'm okay with it. Get it out now before the playoffs and hopefully bright futures ahead. Now, last time when we talked about the tight ends, yeah, Darren Waller, he is a pretty damn good weapon, but they've also got Daniel Bellinger. And Bellinger actually ended up having the better game. 4 catches, 43 yards, 10.8 yards per catch. Now, Waller had 2 catches, 32 yards. So that's 16 per catch. But you got to watch out for the tight ends. And Blankenship, Bayard Brown, they've all had their issues. And, Sidney Brown, obviously a rookie, is going to make mistakes. Had that fantastic 99-yard interception return last game. We talked about it. A lot of people saying cut him, get rid of him. He's not an all-pro yet. I don't understand why people don't wait for players to develop, especially rookies. Kid's going to be great. So sleep on him if you want, but need to see a big game from the veteran. Kevin Byard. Blankenship has had his issues here in the past few weeks. And look, we all know who Reed Blankenship is. He's not all pro here, but he's still got time to learn. Undrafted kid just last year. Give him time to develop. Let's develop this room. Let's hope they continue to get better heading into the playoffs here. Now at number 7, you can see the final piece of this offense here for the Giants going up against this Eagles defense, Saquon Barkley. And we talked about it. You know, he had 80 yards rushing last time on 23 carries, 3.5 yards per carry. Caught 3 balls, but only 4 yards, so 1.3 yards per catch. So they did a great job shutting him down. Let's shut him down even more. Take him out of the game, make them one-dimensional. We have struggled mightily. We are the worst team in football since the bye week against the run. We've talked about it for weeks now. Don't know what the hell is going on here, but figure it out. Start using Jordan Davis correctly so we don't have people calling to cut guys and not knowing what positions even are. It's just kind of sad out here, but the linebacker play, I think, will also help. So if we could get Cunningham back here, having the trio of Cunningham, Morrow, Leonard, I think is going to be very beneficial for the Philadelphia Eagles, and hoping these guys can stay healthy throughout the playoffs. But let's shut these guys down. And, you know, we talked about what we did, and Shaq was the only guy that got a sack for us in this past game and had 7 tackles in this one. And obviously Zach Cunningham did not play, and neither did Nicholas Morrow. So getting those guys back will be fantastic because it was Leonard and BVS last time. So we'll see, but definitely happy to have them back. Now, on to the Eagles offense going up against this Giants defense. Number 6 here, our interior. And last time we talked about it, Nunez Roches did not play. Lawrence and Robinson were both banged up that week. So I don't know why it keeps saving this. And it's literally this graphic that it keeps doing it to. And I just changed it because it's Dickerson, not Opeta from the last time we played him. I have no idea why it's doing that. But okay, Dickerson's bleeding on over. We're about to run him over. That's what that means. Let's effing go. But, you know, last time the Giants defense, you know, they had a sack on us. And, okay, running the ball is something I don't know if I can say anymore. Swift was 8 yards away from 100-yard rushing. So no reason this Eagles offensive line shouldn't be able to stand up against this Giants D-line and Thibodeau, Ward, Ojulari. You know, I'm just not afraid of these guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Now, Jihad Ward was in for a half sack with McKinney. That was the only sack of the game. So continue to, you know, improve their Eagles O-line, protect Jalen Hurts. Watch out. You know, Wink Martindale, he sends the blitz more than any other team, and that is the most we've been blitz all year. So maybe, just like we talked about after that game, you build in some hot reads. You know, you do some things to help Jalen Hurts and not put him in the line of fire, especially last game heading into the postseason, playing on a shitty field like MetLife. So protect him at all costs. Now, you can do that by running the damn ball. So please run the effing ball right down their throats. And it doesn't have to just be Swift. Doesn't have to just be Gainwell. Last time we didn't barely see Boston Scott at all. So, look, I'd love a little bit of Boston there. We know he is the giant killer, and he had 1 carry for 3 yards last time. And look, if the game's not going that way, you know, you want to have fun, okay. But I've said this. Go beat their ass that first half, and then you're just playing the backups for that second half. Please just make that happen. Now, they've got Akira K there and McFadden, and you know, Akira K I thought was a fantastic addition. He led the team in tackles last time we played with 10. I think the kid is a stud, but I don't care. DeAndre Swift needs to get that ball in his hands. Let's go over 100 this time. And look, man, you can get the ball in the, you know, air to him as well. They didn't do that last time we played, but let's use DeAndre. Let's run that ball right down their damn throats. Now, number 3, talked about attacking the middle of the field. Why are we not doing this? So, Goddard, Stoll, Calcaterra. I mean, I feel like I'm beating a horse. Look, and the game we talked about, you know, I think I'm going to lose my mind if they don't get the ball to Stoll and Calcaterra. You know, you heard me at the trade deadline begging to get one, but they finally gave it to Calcaterra. He got a couple catches in that game. So I don't know, man, but I want to see Goddard getting involved too. He had 7 catches for 71 yards in that last game. So get him, continue to get him involved, but let's start attacking the middle. And we talked about Pinnock could be out. Will Belton be available to take over if he, you know, is indeed out? And you got McKinney there. So regardless, going to be a great matchup to see McKinney, one of the better coverage guys. And, you know, we talked about getting that half sack in that last game. We'll see if, Xavier McKinney is a jack of all trades. I love this dude. I hate saying that because he's a giant, but Wink Martindale got himself quite a toy to play with there. And, he tied with Okirike with 10 total tackles in that last game, had that half sack. So got to watch out for this dude. But Goddard, let's do some work. Now the Eagles wide receivers. A.J. Brown gave a fantastic presser. And look, we talked about that yesterday. If you guys missed it, go check it out. Gave you a bunch of clips from the video. But this dude, I love to see that we finally got the casual fans. We got the media finally jumping back on board. We talked about it all week. These guys are going to be back soon. Just stay patient. The whining will cease. And sure enough, they're all becoming the biggest fans ever. They've actually been in 100% of the time, all the time. They love the Eagles. Oh, we called it, sickos. We called it. They're all back. So, look, they're about to watch a show here. They wanted to attack A.J. Brown, call him buddy, whatever, personally attacking all these guys. Eagles suck. Season's over. These casual fans are in for a rude awakening. Now, 6 catches, 80 yards for A.J. Brown. In the last game, Julio only had 1 catch. Olamide didn't have any. And good old Quez there didn't even really play. So if Devontae's out, that's 4 catches, 79 yards, and that touchdown that, are not there. So feed Goddard, feed these other guys. But I'd like to see, Julio Jones and Olamide continue to get involved in this offense. Julio with those 2 touchdowns last week. Hell yeah. But keep getting these guys involved. Love to see it. And we'll see if Deonte Banks is ready. But Jackson, Banks, Flott, these guys, I'm not worried about it, man. I've talked about this. Adoree Jackson, one of the most underrated corners in the game, and he had that interception in the last game. A.J. Brown, I think, is very hungry. He's heard all the slander from the media, the fans talking trash. All right, dude, we're about to put something in your pipe so you can smoke it. So it all comes down to number 1 here, and that's QB1 him. Jalen Hurts going up against this Giants defense, and we've talked about it. You can run all over him. You should be able to pass on him. No reason this team shouldn't be able to go out here. Now, we're going to need the defense to shut down the Giants so that the offense doesn't get like 5 minutes to try to do something here, and any little mistake means the game is over. We need these guys to be on the same page here, please, for the love of God. But Jalen Hurts, man, that last game we played him had 301 yards, a touchdown, interception, but he was 24 for 38, had 8 rushes for 34 yards, 4.2 yards per carry, and a rushing touchdown. So we know who this dude is. And, you've heard the slander. You can't do this, that, the other. Dude, they snubbed him on the Pro Bowl. That's fine. He's an alternate. You saw the picture I posted with the Pro Bowl alternates. Just me laughing. That is what that means. Oh, thank you so much. I cannot thank all of the haters, all of the doubters of this team, the casual fans, the media members. Thank you so much for attacking the players, for telling A.J. Brown how much he sucks. And Jalen Hurts, I cannot thank you enough, because they are not soft like those people. They're going to use this, and they're only going to be more pissed off. They're only going to get better. It's going to fuel the fire. So a big shout out to all the haters out there. We look forward to seeing you guys become the biggest Eagles fans ever. But that was it, ladies and gentlemen. The top 13 matchups. The Eagles, man, as I've been saying throughout the show, I think should go out here, play those starters. Need to get something going here. I would do it for at least the first half. Rely on the backups, Tanner McKee, whatever, to win this game, or you want to play Mariota, whatever. Get things done in the first half. Keep everybody healthy. Let's get that fire going right before we head in the playoffs. Come on now, folks. Jump on board. We've been waiting for you. But to you sickos who've been riding with the Eagles, I love each and every one of you. But that's all I've got for you. If you got anything from this, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe. And look, man, if you guys ever need anything or want to talk birds, you can always reach out to me on any of these platforms down below. It doesn't have to be about birds. You need a friend. Always here for you guys, as you are for me. Cannot thank you enough for taking the time. I'll be back tomorrow with the game status report. And, of course, Fan Friday Live, taking all your questions, comments, topics, everything. So look forward to seeing you then. Look forward to breaking down this game this weekend. But until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all have yourselves a great night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now, Go Birds!